What's growing on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you all my favorite new pickling cucumber. This variety has been a game changer in my garden. I have worked intensively over the last 5 years, trying dozens of different varieties of cucumbers, trying to find the perfect one for my garden. And while I have been very successful finding awesome English type cucumbers and slicing type cucumbers, the pickling type has been fairly elusive. And for the record, when I say pickling type, I mean those Kirby style cucumbers that you find at delis. Well, this year, I think I finally hit pay dirt and I found the variety that has changed everything in my garden. The best illustration I can give you is this. These are the first wave of cucumbers that I planted out in my garden back in early April. It is now nearing the middle of August, and these original plantings are long gone. I mean, cucurbits just don't live that long. And where I live, I've learned it's simply necessary to plant 4 or 5 waves of cucumbers every single year. But here's the weird part. What is this vine growing right here? Why is it still green and it is actually producing flowers? Same thing with this vine right here. This one is nice and green. I actually have some disease-free leaves right here, and this is right next to this dead vine that was planted at the exact same time. I mean, look at this vine right here. This is not only still fairly healthy, but it is actually producing cucumbers. All of those plants that are still alive that I just showed you is a new to me variety called H19 Little Leaf. Strange name, and it may have the word little in it, but this may be the longest living variety of cucumber I have ever grown. All those other varieties that I showed you that were dead, well, they were planted at the same time, and they were all pretty hardy, disease-resistant cultivars. Yet this variety has outperformed them, and it is a pickling type cucumber, and they're still producing where the other ones have long since died. I have a larger pickle right here that you could segment and make into dills, but they also produce smaller cucumbers that when you pick them could make the perfect gherkin. Despite the fact that these vines are 4 to 5 months old, they are still pumping out plenty of food. Look, there's little pickles all over them. And some big pickles as well. This one seems to have done everything it could to avoid capture, but it's not going to be that lucky. This type of cucumber offers you so much versatility. Of course, at any stage, you can harvest them fresh and chop them up and make a delicious salad out of them, but you can pick them larger like this, and you can quarter them, and you can pickle them and turn them into pickle spears. You can let them grow somewhere in between, and you can chop them up into slices, and you can make pickle chips, or you can pick them small like this, and you can make them into gherkins. So given how you like your pickle, pick them at different stages. Or you can do what I did and pick them at a mix of stages so you can make all different types of pickles. And that is exactly what I did. I took the larger pickles and I cut them into quarters to make spears out of them, and I took the medium-sized pickles and I cut them into slices to make chips out of them. I made both bread and butter and dill pickles. Here is the generic recipe that I used for both of them. You can use these to make either a refrigerator pickle, or you can can them and store them for long term if you process them in a water bath. These are all refrigerator pickles, so that means I stuffed the jars with the ingredients, and then I brought the ingredients to a simmer on my stove, and then I poured them over the pickles, and then I refrigerated them for a week, shaking them every single day to mix up the ingredients, and you want them to pickle for about a week. These are now going on 2 to 3 weeks old. With the dill pickles, I also added some jalapenos from my garden to make them a little bit spicy, and for this bread and butter pickle right here, I actually added a chocolate Trinidad scorpion pepper from my garden to make these extra spicy, because I like spicy pickles. But whether you like the pickle spicy or not, that's up to you. Those brine recipes can be modified to be whatever you want. The thing I really want you to hear is just how crispy these pickles are. Again, these are the bread and butter that are the most spicy. Let's hear that again, one more time. Ooh, that's spicy. Oh, they're so good. Whew. Now let's do a dill spear. These are incredible. You have to try them. Oh, and did I also mention these are a dwarfing variety that can fit almost anywhere because they are a small plant and not nearly as invasive as most cucumber varieties? This also makes them a perfect candidate for growing in containers or indoors. And if things couldn't get any better, this variety is both gynoecious and parthenocarpic. Gynoecious means it only produces female flowers, and parthenocarpic means it holds its fruit to maturity without pollination. So that means this plant does not waste any energy at all producing male flowers, and it can hold and mature fruit in total absence of pollination. So you don't have to rely on insects to pollinate your flowers. They will all hold. You can even grow these in a greenhouse or underneath insect netting, completely sealed off from the rest of the world in an indoor environment, and you will get insane cucumber production. So if you suffer from cucumber beetles or pickle worms or any other kind of worms that damage your fruit, you can grow these entirely protected. You can grow them indoors, on a sunroom, in a greenhouse, underneath insect netting. You can protect them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you will get nearly perfect pollination because they don't need it. So if you're like me and you've struggled to find a fantastic pickling style cucumber, or you just like trying new things in your garden and you want to up your productivity, please give H19 Little Leaf a try. I'll place some links down in the video description to where I got my seed. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.